Namaste, good evening, good morning. Welcome back to the 10th chapter discussion of the Bhagavad Gita, Vibhuti Yoga. So we covered up to Shloka 16 in our previous session. We'll do a quick recap and continue with the next three shlokas today. So essentially, this chapter is going to talk about the Vibhuti. Vibhuti means glories of Ishvara. How to see that glories of Ishvara in the entire universe. That is the topic of this chapter. So, Shloka 1 to 3 of this chapter introduces this topic without being asked. Krishna continues to discuss the topic. So, Krishna just started talking about this whole Vibhuti. Without being asked by Arjuna, because he was so pleased with the student. And when the student shows the enthusiasm, naturally the teacher gets inspired. So he introduces this knowledge and he says that this knowledge is going to help you to find wellness, happiness, everything. And in Shloka 4 to 7, Krishna just explained this glory in a very brief manner. He said, everything in this universe, physical universe as well as the subtle universe. The subtle universe is any thoughts that comes to my mind, any creativity comes to my mind, the intelligence of the intellect, everything is me. Everything in this universe is a manifestation of me, but I'm not affected by them. It's like the light of in a movie, it gives existence to the movie. All the characters, whether it is good or bad or indifferent characters, they are nothing but light. Without the light, there is no movie. Yet, the light is not affected by the characters of the movie, etc. So, exactly like that. That is the role of the Ishvara. And then Krishna said, the devotees of mine, devotees of Ishvara, are initially they start with the Ekarupa worship. They worship Ishvara in a particular form using certain types of rituals or certain customs. But when they evolve, they move bigger, right? So they extend their worship from that Ekarupa Ishvara. So instead of spotting or seeing God only in the temples or the churches or the mosque, you try to see that glories of the Ishvara throughout the universe. You see the Ishvara in the sunlight. You see the Ishvara in the wind. You see the Ishvara in the water. Or wherever there is a glory, you see that. So that is the Virat devotee. And Krishna said that when that awareness, by seeing the glory that Ishvara's manifestation is everywhere, I bless that devotees with knowledge and eventually they attain moksha. So the knowledge of the Ishvara automatically turns into an appreciation of Ishvara, because when you look at the glories of the Ishvara which manifested throughout in and through the universe, you cannot but just get humble and you get really surrender to the glories of the Ishvara. So that bhakti, which is born out of that knowledge, that when you have that, I take that devotee to the final destination through the knowledge. I give them the knowledge and I will make them completely aligned. And at that point of time, Arjuna asked a question, a set of questions or a set of points. Is it that is what we have been discussing? Let's try to see that one more time. So in Shloka 12, Arjuna acknowledged that Ishvara is the supreme truth. Whatever truth Krishna said, that is the truth. And Ishvara is the ultimate essence and the eternal source of purity. He also mentioned that all the sages like Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa, all the people talked about these divine qualities of Ishvara, recognizing Ishvara as the all-pervading reality of the universe. So Arjuna just acknowledged whatever Krishna said. Remember, Arjuna was not in a state to listen to any of these things. That is what you see in chapter 1 and chapter 2. And you see that his evolution, right? And in third chapter, he said, Vyamishrenena vakyena buddhim moyasavimi. I am completely confused. And from that confusion, a clarity arises. And he says, yes, what you are saying is right. From saying that you confused me. So that clarity came to Arjuna, and he started accepting Krishna's teaching. And then he reaffirms his belief on Shloka 13, that on Ishvara's words or Krishna's words, accepting everything Krishna shared as absolute truth. And he said, even Devas and Asuras are unable to fully comprehend the glories of Ishvara and the divine manifestation. So he was very lucky to listen that from Krishna. On Shloka 14, so recognizing the supreme nature of the Ishvara, Arjuna described him as the ultimate being. Nobody else knows Ishvara completely, only Ishvara knows. Also, he praises Ishvara as the creator, a Lord of all being, Adideva and Devadeva, and also he is the complete ruler of the universe because everything is governed by Ishvara's rules. In Shloka 15, Arjuna requests Krishna to reveal these glories further, Vibhuti, in detail, because he expresses a desire, what? To understand this extraordinary ways in which the Ishvara manifests throughout the universe. And in Shloka 16, Arjuna humbly requests Krishna to enumerate these glories. So this is where this is what we saw so far. And now let's get into the next shloka, shloka 17. So let's listen to that shloka first.
Katham vidyamaham yogin tvam sada parichintayan keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavan maya.
So Arjuna says, Katham means how. How may I know you? Katham vidyam aham. So how do I know you completely? Right? And then he calls Krishna, O yogi, right? He says, O yogi, by constant meditation, or by constantly contemplating upon the glories of you, how do I know you? In what various things, O Lord, are you to be contemplated by me? In what form I can meditate upon you? This is what Arjuna's question. So, Yoginam Ishvara, that is how Arjuna calls Krishna. O Lord of all powers. Yoga here means all the hidden powers. And how can I truly know you? By meditating upon you. In what form I should be contemplating your presence, or divine one? Yogi Yogin. This is what Arjuna was asking. So let's just deep dive into this topic because each topic needs a little bit more explanation. So Arjuna's request, right? Arjuna made a request in the previous shloka. What was that request? He asked Krishna to share the list of glories, divine glories. What is the purpose? For meditation. So Arjuna wishes to meditate upon Krishna's glory. Here Krishna means Ishvara, not the blue boy of Vrindavan, the Ishvara of the universe, right? And he wanted to use these symbols or these glories as the object of meditation. This is very interesting because why Arjuna wanted to know the glories of Krishna or Ishvara? Here, please listen to this carefully. It is not to praise Krishna or anything like that. Arjuna wanted to use this as an alambana. Alambana means an object of meditation. Because each of these glories are potential objects of meditation or chosen symbols or alambana or supporting forms for the meditation. Okay. So different people in the universe are drawn to different forms for meditation. Some people can meditate upon the flowers. Some people can meditate upon sunrise. Some people are interested in meditating upon ocean. Or all these are divine symbols. So when you understand that the glory of the flower you see, or the sunrise, or when you meditate upon the wind, when you meditate upon the music, it is easier for them to relate that with Ishvara. So this understanding or understanding the glory of Ishvara or seeing the glory of the Ishvara in the universe will help them to convert that secular meditation, which is just meditating upon a particular form or a particular name or a particular expression of the nature, into a spiritual meditation. It can transform, a conventional meditation can transform into an upasana because Ishvara comes there. So a secular person will see this as a flower. He used that as an object of meditation, whereas a spiritual person will see that flower as a manifestation of Ishvara, as a glory of Ishvara. So that is going to elevate his meditation into a different level. So this is point number one. Point number two is each of this universe, each glorious objects of the universe, wherever you see something glorious in the universe, that can become a symbol for the meditation. You need not meditate Ishvara in the form of Krishna with blue color and Srivatsa and Chakra. No, you don't need to meditate Ishvara in the form of Shiva. Of course, that is fine. But you can also use the diverse elements of the nature, the sun, the moon, trees, and the rivers. You can meditate upon Ishvara. So this is what the concept of Alambana, and that Alambana is extended with the glories of the Ishvara. So you are spiritualizing everything in the universe. That is what the second purpose. The third one is the Vishwarupa meditation, right? It can be done through individual symbol. You don't need to visualize the entire universe. You can take a symbol in the universe, like a lotus flower or a waterfall. Anything is fine. There is Shruti Pramana for this. For example, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, you get the meditation of a horse on a horse. Each part of that horse is symbolizing different aspects of the universe. So this is another beauty, right? So the Vishwarupa meditation is going to help you to meditate upon one aspect of the universe and see the Ishvara in that. So there are some benefit for this Vishwarupa meditation also. So one of the meditation is when you view the glorious object as an expression of Ishvara, it transforms into a mundane thing to a spiritual thing, a sacred perception. This is the beauty. For example, the water you use in the Sandhya Vandanam, those who do the Sandhya Vandanam, we use water. We all know that water is a basic element, right? That water is superimposed with the presence of all the deities and creatures, symbolizing it as Ishvara's essence. So this illustrates that how a mundane object, you don't need any big objects to worship Ishvara. You can just look at what is happening in the nature and you can relate that with Ishvara. This is the beauty of this Vishwarupa meditation. And another thing is that Arjuna's objective is to progress, not to stay on the meditation on the Vishwarupa alone. Because when you meditate upon the Vishwarupa, when you think about the Vishwarupa, Krishna himself said, I will take you to the next level of bhakti. So the bhakti itself has 3 stages, right? We talked about that many times. First, you start with the Ekarupa bhakti. That Ekarupa bhakti is moved into the Vishwarupa bhakti, and that Vishwarupa bhakti will automatically turn into the Arupa bhakti through the knowledge. So this is how it is going to help. So that is why Arjuna requested for a multiple list of Ishvara's glory, right? So just like you don't want just one form, give me many forms, as many forms as possible for meditation. And this is the beauty of the Sanatana Dharma. Unlike many other religions where the worship is particularly limited with a particular form or through a particular process. Here you are allowed to worship Ishvara through as many forms as possible. In this chapter, Krishna is going to give hundreds of examples, right? So you can always take this as a worship. So that's the beauty. And this worship is a, please understand that without knowledge, you won't get liberation. But this type of Virat Bhakti is going to accelerate, and it serves as a link to the knowledge, and it is going to take you to the highest. So these are some of the key points we wanted to talk about that, right? So let's just listen to the shloka one more time.
Katham vidyamaham yogin tvam sada parichintayan keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavanmaya.
So katham vidyamaham yogin. How can I meditate upon you, O the Lord of yogis? And then he say, sada parichintayam. How can I contemplate upon you in always? And then he say, because if you meditate upon one form, meaning you cannot sustain that. Here, wherever you look, you see only Ishvara. You cannot see anything but Ishvara in the universe. And then he say, right, keshu keshu cha bhavena. In whatever form, what and various things in the universe, I can find you. This is a beautiful shloka. And this is exactly what the beauty of the Sanatana Dharma, right? It just extends that vision of Ishvara from temples, churches, mosque to that larger dimension. This is the beauty of this shloka. So let's continue. Let's play first.
विस्तरेणात्मनो योगं विभूतिं च जनार्दन भूयः कथय तृप्तिर्हि शृण्वतो नास्ति मे मृतम्.
Arjuna is so eager to gain this knowledge. So he tells, "O Krishna, please tell me once more," because earlier Krishna explained the glories of Ishvara in a brief form. Now Arjuna is asking Krishna to tell him once more in detail of your powers and divine manifestations. So he used two words. One is called yoga and the other one is Vibhuti. So for I am, meaning why he is asking to explain this in detail. He said, I am tripti, meaning he said that he not satisfied. I want more. My ears are thirsting for that amrita, nectar of your words. I really wanted to hear from you. What are your divine glories? That is the question. Again, Arjuna wants to know more. So that is this shloka completes Arjuna's questions. So let's deep dive into this, right? So you can see from shloka 12 to 18, Arjuna was talking. So his approach was first he revered the teaching and then he asked something. So this is because that he whatever he is showing, Shankaracharya tells, he showed an approach of gratitude because he understood that whatever Krishna is saying is true, and he was very grateful to Krishna, and then he made a request, like, how can I know more? Because the request here was request for knowledge of the divine glories. And you can see expression of curiosity in Arjuna's words. He wanted to understand. He said, my ears are thirsting, right? Or I'm thirsting for this knowledge. I wanted to know this knowledge, the glories for a deeper meditation. And the two words used here is, Arjuna asked glories in two things. One is yogaha and the second one is vibhuti. So yogaha here means, as you all know, the word yoga is again, like dharma, has many meanings. And we heard this in the second chapter, third chapter. Yogaha Yoga karma sukaushalam, yoga samatvam yoga uchyate. And in the sixth chapter, we saw that yoga is chittavritti nirodha, and disassociation of sorrow is yoga. Here, Ishvara's yoga refers to the potential power of Ishvara, right? So, for the Ishvara, there is a lot of potential power, potential to manifest the universe, potential for anything. So, that is what is known as yoga. And Vibhuti means what is already expressed, whatever you can see in the universe. So, yoga means that is in potential form, that is not yet expressed, and Vibhuti means what is expressed. So, this is yoga as the inferred potential, and the Vibhuti is the visible power. That is what the two terms talk about. Yoga and Vibhuti. So, then the next point in this question is Arjuna was discussing a detailed enumeration, right? So, Krishna already talked about this, about the glory. He talked about that in chapter 7, right? If you remember, Krishna said, Rasoham apsu kaunteya, papasmi shashichureyo, pranava sarva vedeshu, shabdakhe paurusham nrishu. Like that, Krishna already expressed it, right? I'm the wetness of the water. When you see water, you can remember me, etc. So Krishna already talked about this. Arjuna said he was not satisfied. He wanted a detailed list, right? So he said the word he used is vistarena, elaborately. So unlike, and then he said he is really enjoying it. So this is what it is. So Krishna's Arjuna expressed his sincere word. Okay, one more point. Krishna was addressed here as Janardhan. The word Janardana has many meanings in the Vishnu Sahasranama. We already talked about one meaning, one who is the Karma Phaladata, one who punishes people for their bad karma. Nobody punishes the karma because of the karma itself, they good. And people, the Ishvara who blesses people because of the karma, all that is Janardana. And one more meaning is Jana Ardana. Jana means all the being or the people. The one who is sought after by all the being, right? So Krishna or the meaning Ishvara is the most wanted, not for personal gain, but he is the ultimate source of support and relief for anyone. So that is why the word Janardana is used, very context sensitive. And that is why Arjuna requests, oh Janardana, please explain me. That is the essence of this shloka. Let's listen to that one more time.
विस्तरेणात्मनो योगम् विभूतिञ्च जनार्दन भूयः कथय तृप्तिर्हि शृण्वतो नास्ति मे मृतम्.
So, okay, we will see one more shloka, which is shloka 19, where Krishna starts promise. He is saying that I'm going to reveal this to you. So let's listen to the shloka first. Shloka 19.
श्रीभगवानुवाच हन्त ते कथयिष्यामि दिव्या ह्यात्मविभूतयः प्राधान्यतः कुरु श्रेष्ठ नास्त्यन्तो विस्तरस्य मे.
So Bhagavan says, very well Arjuna, I shall give you the major glories, the divine glories, Vibhutayaha of mine. And he says, I can only give you the important one or something that stands out because the entire universe is my glory. It is infinite. There is absolutely no end to my manifestation. He says, na asti anta mama vibhutim. There is absolutely no end or no limit to my glories. My glories are infinite. So I cannot enumerate everything to you in a short time. But what I will do is I'll pick and choose some of these glories so that you can use that for your meditation. That is the meaning of Bhagavan's words. Let's deep dive a little bit more into that. So Bhagavan, so Krishna talk about what exactly he is going to do. So as meaning Arjuna already requested to for a detailed description of the Vibhuti, the divine glories. Why? To better understand and meditate upon the manifestations of Ishvara. He wanted to use that as an object of meditation. And Krishna, actually, he agreed. Because with joy, he agreed. So that is what he said, Hanta, he agreed. Atma Vibhutayaha, my own glories, I'm going to explain. And then the type of glories, he said, there are two types of glories, Shankaracharya said. One is the divine glories, and the second one is ordinary glories. Everything in the universe, including ordinary functions, reflects Ishvara's glory. For example, my ability to speak, my ability to see, my ability to move, the sun is rising, the plant is growing, I am growing, I am able to think, I am able to breathe. Everything is Ishvara's glory. So everyday functions are also divine. Krishna is going to focus only Divya Vibhuti, extraordinary glories, right? Because that is particularly inspiring and ideal for meditation. So he picked and chose, he's picking and choosing only those Vibhutis which would be beneficial for meditation. That is meaning, see, ordinary glories, we always take it for granted. For example, I can able to speak right now. You can able to see me. These things are often taken for granted. So, like Ishvara's creation includes all function. Even winking of the eye is designed by the Ishvara. I was not randomly picking that example that is mentioned in the Kena Upanishad, right? So everything is Ishvara's glory, but we may not be able to recognize Ishvara because we are so used to it, we don't see anything extraordinary in that. See, look at your own heart. Your heart is beating 24/7, and your body is functioning 24/7. And we take that for granted, right? And how each cycle in the universe works. The sunlight comes to the plant absorbs it, your digestive system works, everything works perfectly, and it is taken for granted. This is the problem. So, ordinary glories, even though they are miraculous one, people take it for granted because we are so used to it. That is why Krishna said, I'm going to give only Divya Vibhuti. Divya Vibhuti means something that catches your attention and which can be served as alambanam for meditation. So, actually, anything can be used as meditation. In Taittiriya Upanishad, actually, the meditation on each limb of the body is mentioned. But here, Krishna is selectively describing the glory so that you can meditate upon that. So this is the whole idea. So that is what Krishna is going to do, which we can start from next week. So we covered 3 shlokas. The first two shlokas, we covered the full questions of Arjuna. So Arjuna, in this particular section, acknowledged Krishna's words, because you can see Arjuna's gradual transformation from chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 8, and when it came to chapter 9, it was brilliant. All the questions were started brilliant. Now he is completely convinced with the teaching and he wanted to know more. So for that, he surrendered to Krishna and he asked for these glories. And again, the purpose of these glories are meditation, and that is very important. And that is why Arjuna asked many forms, because that will help him at different periods of time, and also it will help different types of devotees. And Krishna said, I'm going to give you, but I'm only going to give you the selected vibhutis, because it is impossible for me to talk about all the Vibhutis. So that covers the 3 shlokas today. Let me pause here, stop the record.